The SInister podcast. Listen at your own risk.
Another sleepless night had arrived as I stared blankly into my computer screen. I lazily browsed through the gaming streams, YouTube videos, and funny memes. Insomnia hit me hard tonight as I tried desperately to relax my mind, but found myself caught up in the endless digital world called the internet. An unexpected sight was seen from the corner of my eye. The small LED light on my phone was blinking, indicating I had a notification. What kind of notification could I be receiving this deep into the night? I grabbed my phone and lit up the screen. One missed call. That's strange. I didn't hear it ring. This late, I usually have it on vibrate, but with it sitting on my desk, I usually could not only hear it, but feel it through the vibrations resonating through my desktop. I was confused, but dialed the number back. The call rang several times as I patiently waited for an answer. Just as I figured it was going to go to voicemail, a clicking sound was heard.
Hello?
Hi. Sorry if I'm bugging you, but I just got a missed call from your phone number.
I'm sorry, hon, but that can't be right. I'm asleep in bed and nowhere near my phone.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Maybe it was just a weird hiccup with my phone. I apologize, I said, placing my hand on my forehead in embarrassment.
Quite all right, sweetie. Have a good night.
We said our goodbyes, and I was a tad relieved she wasn't too terribly upset with me. Still, I was a bit embarrassed. I continued my internet love affair and all but put the awkward call out of my mind when another indicator light flashed on my phone. One missed call. What the hell? Confusion hit me as I clicked on the notification. It was the same number. The same number I had missed earlier from the elderly lady's phone. I pondered if I should call back. Maybe she figured out what happened and wanted to let me know. I called back.
Hello?
A familiar voice said, a little more sternly this time. I'm sorry, ma'am. I just got another missed call from you. Did you try to call me back? I said, trying to sound as innocent as possible, trying not to frighten this poor woman.
My dear, I've not touched my phone since we last spoke. Now, please, I have a very early day tomorrow and really need my rest.
Again, I apologize. Good night, ma'am, I replied, once again placing my hand on my forehead. The sight hit me once more. Several minutes passed, and another indicator light on my phone was blinking at me, almost mocking me. One missed call. It was the same number again. I let out a sigh and put my phone back on the desk. This time I turned my ringtone on to see if I could hear it next time. I did. A quick beep was heard, followed by silence. 2 missed calls. I stared at my phone, waiting for another call. A few more minutes passed as I stared with my finger close to the screen, ready to pounce on the next call. My reflexes kicked in as the phone lit up with the same number calling me. Hello? I quickly answered. Shuffling was heard in the background as I repeated my greeting twice more. Nothing. Her phone must be dialing on its own, like some sort of glitch. I hung up. Almost as soon as I hung up, it began ringing again. I quickly answered. Hey! Hello? Hello? Ma'am, can you hear me? Your phone is... I was interrupted by another sound. At what I could only imagine was the other end of the room. I heard the snores of who I assume was the elderly lady, but closer to the phone, I heard a voice.
Mine. You belong to me. No more pain. Your pain is almost over. The pain of life. You will thank me.
What? Who is this? No answer. I began to panic. Someone was in this old lady's house. Was this man calling me to hear whatever he was planning? I hung up and moved to call the police. Mid-dial, my phone lit up with the same number. I answered. Again. The man's ramblings were heard. More of the same, about life and pain. This person was clearly troubled. I opened my mouth to speak, but was interrupted by another voice. This voice, however, had a much different inflection.
4, 2, 6, 7.
Wait, what? Who are you? What is this? 4267? What was the voice trying to tell me? Was that another prisoner of the psychotic man? As if on cue, my phone once again awoke with the same phone number staring back at me from the screen. I answered. More of this disturbed man's whimpering rants could be heard, only they were farther away and barely audible. He was moving towards the elderly woman. I began to panic at the realization.
The street of hope.
What? I don't know what you're... The phone call ended on my phone as I couldn't believe what it was implying. The Street of Hope. 1 block away from my house was Hope Street. A quick glimpse on my maps program showed me the address. 4267 Hope Street. I was close. I picked up the phone, but this time I was not calling the elderly woman back. I was phoning the police. After trying to make my story as believable as possible, blaming it on a butt dial, I managed to get them to head to her house. Sirens and flashing lights were soon heard from the neighborhood across the way. I couldn't see what was happening, only the blue and red lights. An hour later, there was a knocking at my door. It was the police. In conducting a search of her house, the police were able to apprehend a mentally unstable man who had just escaped from a local psychiatric hospital. He was branding a small metal steak knife from the woman's kitchen. My mind raced as I remembered the other person who gave me the house address. They were confused as only the deranged man and elderly woman were found in the house. They did find her cell phone on the other side of the room from where she was sleeping. When the police searched her phone to verify my story, there was an unsent text. A text that was being sent to my number. The text simply read,
It's not time yet.
Thanks for listening, and we'll scare you in the next episode.